Hello everyone and welcome to a new tutorial, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make sandbag armor for all your tanks. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to do this on this model kit. This is the Sherman M4A3 with the 105mm howitzer and the dozer blade, which apparently is quite a rare kit and quite hard to get hold of these days. But anyway, I have one and this is it. This is when the kit has been complete, and there are some features on it that I'd like to explain in a bit further detail. Now you can of course see that this kit contains some parts that are not originally part of the kit, and that is these orange, yellow, beige things. They are actually part of a Panzer IV kit from Tamiya, and they're supposed to hold in place the side skirts of the hull and the turret of that particular tank. But when I built the Panzer IV Tamiya, I didn't use it because I wanted it to look like an earlier version. So these things I had as spares, and I haven't used them since, so I'm going to use them now. And that is a pro tip I have to all modelers, that if you have some spare parts in any model kits or some spare sprues, don't immediately throw them away, because you may be able to use them in other builds, like I've done here. I didn't want to use a side skirt on the Panzer IV, but I can use the parts that's I was left over to create this. And speaking of spares, I also have this sprue. This is from a building from Mini Art, I believe, and I didn't complete the building, but you can see here there are some parts we may be able to use in this build. So let's crack on with that. So there we are. That is the steel frame for the sandbags, and as you can see, I've used quite a lot of parts from different sprues, and it looks rather rudimentary, but that's not an issue because that's how it would be done in the field as well, I think. But now let's go over to the sandbags, and for my sandbag I'm using this product. This is Milliput, a two-part epoxy putty that is excellent for making sandbags and all sorts of diorama and modeling inspired kits. You can also fix boats and radiators with it, apparently, according to the website. And this is what it looks like when it comes out of the box. It's two bags of sealed putty, and when you mix these two together, you get a product that hardens in about 2 hours or so, and it's absolutely perfect. Now I've just started mixing the two pieces of putty, and as you can see, this is not what it's supposed to look like, but I had a packet of open milliput that had been laying in my cupboard for years, but amazingly it still worked. I was able to work with it, but it does look a bit better when you open it. But this is the result you end up with after you work the two pieces of putty into one another, and it's this modeling paste. And it's very easy to work with. You can shape it and form it any way you like. And since we're making sandbags, I'm going to roll it out on this cutting board, sorry. And then we're going to make some rather large sausage looking pieces, and we're going to chop up and turn into sandbags so that we end up with a result like this. So I rolled it to this shape, and as you can see, it's very smooth and it looks very good. So the next thing we have to do is to lay it down, and to get one of our figures, this tank driver that's enjoying a bottle of local wine, and I'm going to use him for a scale and try to create sandbags that are roughly in a shape that would be realistic for a 135 scale figure. And I'm just using my finger to create the sandbags, just pushing lightly into them, and I use a scalpel to cut them in approximately correct sizes, like what I would guess a sandbag would look like in 135 scale. And as you can see, they come out rather nice, looking like this. And yeah, I think this could work. That could be a sandbag, couldn't it? Maybe a bit large, but doesn't matter. So I then just use my fingers and I just shape it a little bit, just tuck in the edges so it looks a bit smoother, and then I use a scalpel to create the seam in the sandbag like this. And once you do that, that's just about as much detail as you can do to them. If you have some fabric, of course, you can use that to lightly press against sandbag to make some more texture, but I find that usually my fingerprints create more than enough texture on the sandbag. So now it's time to stick it on the tank, and the first sandbag is in place. I then use my scalpel to push it in so that it looks like it's supposed to be there, and that so everything fits nicely and snugly. I cock about a bit with this first one, but as you'll see, they turn out better as we go along. But there it is, that's the first sandbag, it's in place. So now we just got to do this 50 times over, and yeah, we'll get there. And there we go. That's the beast complete. And I'm very happy with this, the way it looks right now. The amount of sandbag, the size of the sandbag, the details. I'm very happy with this. And as you can see, they are sticking out a little bit everywhere. And I think that's a nice effect. I didn't want it to look too smooth, so I just scattered them around randomly. And as you can see, when I'm using a scalpel, they are rock solid. Little bit of dent there, but that's okay. The same on the other side. I tried making the sandbag slightly smaller on this side to see if that turned out better. I really didn't think it did, so I'm going to add some more sandbags on this side. But yeah, all in all, it looks very good and I'm very happy with it. So I can only recommend this, I have to say. Milliput is a fantastic product to work with, and I also have to stress I have never done this before. This is the first time I tried kitting out a tank with sandbags. I've only made sandbags once before as a test, and yeah, I have to say the result is very, very good. This is nothing you should worry about trying to do. You'll end up with this result on your first try. I did that, so anyone can. And once that's done, it's on to the paints, and it's a very simple paint job on this so far. It's just olive drab and the khaki sandbags. And all in all, very pleased with this. So let's go on to the weathering. And yeah, what do you think? I'm pretty happy with this. I'm especially proud of the slogan I made up for it. I think that's very suitable for this thing. Uh, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, you can see from the side, I'm actually very proud of this thing. It is the first time I went in with a proper weathering. It's this. I tried testing out several different methods, like different washes and different techniques, and a lot of different sort of pigments and dust. And all in all, it came through very nicely. I know that it might be over weathered to some degree, but like I said, I use this tank as a sort of testing ground for that. That's in the same way I did with the sandbag. Never done before, so let's just test it out and see how it goes. And yeah, look at them. I think they're pretty good. I'm very proud of this build. When I started, I weren't convinced that this was a good idea, but once it moved on, it turned out to be very, very good. And this might be some of the best models I've built so far, especially considering the weathering and how I customized it. So, what did you think? Please give me feedback in the comments. I do read all your comments and I appreciate them very, very much. Please leave a like if you like this video, if you found it interesting. You can consider subscribing because I will be producing more videos. And if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see me trying to do, I'll be open for that. So, happy Easter to all of you. That's coming up. And hopefully I'll see you around later. Thank you for watching.